everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. Two teams will need their quarterbacks to step up and lead their offenses on the gridiron today. It's the Raiders going up against the Titans. With that, we'll send you up to Music City, USA, and Nissan Stadium in Nashville, my hometown. We're standing by as our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thank you, Larry. We are across the Cumberland River from downtown Nashville at Nissan Stadium in Tennessee. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Oakland Raiders and the Tennessee Titans. Now here's the first carry for DeMarco Murray. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
So what will they do? On the ground, through the air, let's see. 2nd and 9. They go with Murray again. And he powers his way up past the 30. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. Time to meet the defensive starters for the Oakland Raiders, and you want to discuss one of their safeties.
I certainly do. Carl Joseph out of West Virginia. Always did a great job policing the middle of the field. A big hitter, knocked the ball away, but really added to his game his last year as a Mountaineer. Became a better cover guy and a better ball hawk before he got injured. They're really going to love him in Oakland.
Time running out here on the play clock. Now Mariota. And he locates Walker, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Hey, when Marcus Mariota was at Oregon, throwing to the tight end wasn't much of an option, was it? That spread offense, you didn't have him on the field too much. Now he's got one of the best in the game in Delaney Walker.
Now, last year, Walker led all the tight ends with 94 catches. On first down, Murray. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. For Murray, 807 rushing yards through 9 weeks of the NFL season, 2nd most in the league.
And for him, he probably is not surprised that he's second to Ezekiel Elliott because of the way Dallas plays. He remembers his time there, 2014, when he was the NFL Player of the Year and set a personal best in rushing yards. So he's having a great time in Tennessee, chasing the Cowboys.
That was a Cowboys record that year. Last week against the Chargers, 51 yards and a touchdown for Murray. Matthews is really becoming a big part of this Titans offense. 5 touchdowns in his last 5 games.
And he brings great experience to the position as well. Remember when we started this season, Tajay Sharp, the 5th-round pick out of UMass, was expected to be the #1 receiver. Looks like Matthews is well on his way to being that guy.
And 2 of those 5 touchdowns I mentioned came week 9 against San Diego. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Mariota to throw it this time. And he will find his man on the outside. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
What's fun to watch is these college receivers transitioning into the NFL and how they grow as route runners. Because a lot of times now in the college game, the spread offenses, there aren't that many routes that they're actually running. Most of the time, they're just trying to find open space and present themselves to the quarterback as easy targets. But in the NFL, you've got to run the entire route tree, and you've got to run it well if you expect to get open.
A good pickup there at 20 yards. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. to the ground game. Here's Murray. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Mariota to throw it. Dancing to his left. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
Walker, the tight end, in motion. The play clock's running down. Here's Mariota. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And Suckup will put this one right through. And the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
This Titans D, Charles, by most metrics, one of the better ones in the league, ranking right around 10th, but they amazingly have yet to force a fumble.
And those numbers do look good. Didn't you say, what, 10th in the league?
Yep.
I mean, that's pretty impressive overall, but they have yet to force a fumble this year. So if you don't take the ball away from people, those numbers really don't matter. Ask around the league. As the Seattle Seahawks like to say, it's all about the ball.
Yeah, and that one fumble that we didn't mention came on special teams, but again, this D, no fumbles forced. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On 2nd down, here's Carr. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Every quarterback likes having a reliable target at tight end, and I think young quarterbacks especially, because they want to get the ball in their hands quickly. I think these two, Derek Carr and Clive Walford, that's a pretty good connection for years to come for Oakland.
Yeah, he started to come on strong end of his rookie year. Now the Raiders really hoping for that 2nd-year jump out of Walford. Fresh set of downs here. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Steps away to his left. And this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
Brandon, so much attention in Dallas about Dak Prescott and what he's done as a rookie quarterback, and deservedly so. I don't think many people saw this coming. But when you talk with people in Dallas, they'll tell you they saw signs early after he joined the team. In fact, one of the observers told me they were having a 2-minute drill, and they were going through it, and Des Bryant caught a pass and ran the length of the field for a touchdown, but they were in a 2-minute drill trying to get work done, and Dak Prescott actually took him to the side and said, hey, you're the big dog around here, but we all need to get some work in, and the team saw that.
Wow, the rookie going to the vet.
That's pretty impressive right there, and I think it got everyone's attention early in Dallas about Dak Prescott.
On 1st down, Carr. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Here's Carr to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the front. And that's what he just did.
5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a second down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Throw left side to the tight end, Walford. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and they're going to have a third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Again, they'll throw with Carr. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. Back to Tennessee after this. It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They'll go for it. It's Carr. Oh, it's dropped. He couldn't hang on. That would have been a big interception. Instead, they'll have a chance to get 3.
We can talk about rookie quarterbacks and mistakes they make, but an 11-11 record and 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions going into this weekend's games, that wasn't too bad.
Not bad at all. And understandably, a lot of people talking about Prescott and Wentz, but you say Cody Kessler deserves a little love.
I think so. He made a 6th start against Dallas, threw a touchdown pass, and continues to be accurate and tough in the pocket. Carson Wentz, I think, is still playing well, despite the fact the team's had a little bit of a losing skid. But Dak Prescott threw 3 touchdown passes at Green Bay, threw 3 more against Cleveland last weekend.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. Off play action to hit. It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Mariota now to throw on first down. The catch is made by Kendall Wright. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. 13 yards there on the pickup. And the Titans are going to have a first. First down, Mariota. Wright's got it. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make it second down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Mariota now on second down. Here over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be second and about a yard. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Mariota again. And Matthews over the middle with the grab. And he's brought down. Now whistles and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. They come out here in the eye. Mariota on 1st down. Flushed out right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. A 2nd down throw here for Mariota. Surveying the field. And the hit jarred at Luke. It's incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Mariota. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And Suckup will put this one right through. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So that's their 3rd trip to the red zone, but all they have to show so far is 2 field goals.
Tough sledding in this game for the offense. They get to the red zone. Normally you count on a minimum of 3 points in each red zone trip. Not so far in this game.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead. But a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
To throw his car. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. From midfield, here's Carr. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken at his 4. Return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide.
And that's caught inside the 35. That one goes for 38 yards. And the Raiders are going to have a 1st down. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here. Now another timeout here called by the Titans. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And the 38-year vet able to split the uprights. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So they're still down, but they are able to salvage 3 here heading into the lockers.
This is what you work on from the beginning of training camp. Heading into the half, put some points on the board. No matter what the score says at that point, you've accomplished what you set out to do.
First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Second down now after the pass completion. Here's Carr to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening.
Looking for Crabtree, and it's intercepted. It's picked off by Bryce McCain. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Out come the Titans now. They'll have it first on offense to start the third. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to this, DeMarco Murray, kiss him goodbye. Touchdown, Titans. DeMarco Murray, 51 yards. And the Titans are going to add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Throwing now is Carr. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. They give him 17 yards that time, as that'll move the chains. So an excellent throw and an excellent catch there.
Zone coverage, which means you just have to find the...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the veteran Brian Orakpo. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Again, it's Murray. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. Offense just a yard away from the line they need to gain. 3rd down. They come out here in the eye. Short yardage unit out there. This is Fowler, the fullback. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
On 3rd and 1, it seems natural to just turn and hand it to the biggest guy you have in the backfield. But usually, he's not the primary runner. So for the defense, they're often keying on the running back because he's the guy who gets the ball more often, and the fullback is the blocker. When he ends up carrying the football, that's a heck of a tendency breaker, and now you're just trying to jump on his back and hold on.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They'll try to throw now. Mariota looking middle. Complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They give him 15 more, and it's another first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. From the red zone now, Mariota trying for right, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Perry Riley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Carr now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And on 2nd and 10 now. From the gun, it's Carr. Throw left side to the tight end, Walford. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And on the outside, they're playing coverage. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And he'll have his man. And a gain there of 11 yards. And a 2-score game, obviously. Every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
No gain, and it's 2nd down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Carr. Wide open, Amari Cooper. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Completed pass, but the O-line, they're a little thankful because their quarterback got hit hard.
You ever notice, Brandon, that after the quarterback...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jarrell Casey in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Carr to throw on 2nd down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was trying to get it to Michael Crabtree there. And it'll bring up 3rd down. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion. While an incomplete pass certainly does good play, for the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
Carr now to throw. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the safety, Rashad Johnson. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Looked like they had something going. Drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Play clock winding down. 10th carry of the game now. Murray. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
This is Murray. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They'll try to throw now. Mariota eluding the pressure right. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make it 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. And right with it here over the middle. It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. The Titans go. It's Mariota. For Kidder here, it's complete. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. And now Oakland ready to take the field. So a short field to cover here for the offense, but they're going to have to move quickly. One score, that's not all they need to tie this thing up. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Carr to throw. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Back to throw. Carr being chased out left. And that is incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target. And it brings up 4th down.
I have to say that was a surprise call on 3rd and inches. I thought they'd try and run the football there, but you got to believe they thought they'd surprise the defense and pick up something downfield. But that one goes incomplete.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now this time, Carl throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab it, and that'll be a hole.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Parrish Cox. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit.
Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 here in the the final stages. And after the ground, that brings up second down here. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. There's the former Heisman winner. It's Derrick Henry. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. So 3rd and 5, 3rd and medium here. Mariota to throw. Got a man, it's right. And he's got the first as they bring him down at the 28-yard line.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. Anticipation is mounting for today's game, and we've got two quarterbacks looking to make an impact. It's the Packers going up against the Broncos. So let's get you out to Denver for the call of our game. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful after football. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Green Bay Packers and the Denver Broncos. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. We've discussed these Broncos and that tough loss against the Raiders, but the defense is still producing. They're number one in the league against the pass.
And they have had to battle through some injuries. DeMarcus Ware just came back after an extended absence to play against Oakland. Aqib Talib on the corner did not play, and that really hurts them, even though they're great against the pass. Without him in there, that changes how they run their nickel defense. So they have to have guys healthy, because when they are indeed one of the best in the league.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Again on the ground, again with Starks. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way, you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
Easy. Reset. Hey, easy. Over.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And he's brought down after a good gain. 22 yards on the pickup there. And it'll give the Packers a first down.
Easy. 319. 850. Over.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And a wide receiver to watch in this offense, certainly Jordy Nelson.
And most defenses watch him run past them. Jordy Nelson can run every route in the route tree and take it to the house.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Uh-oh, Charles, now you get to talk about your old spot, the secondary. Very key here in this one.
You got to cut me off because, you know, I'll talk about them all game long. Love to see those guys match up and challenge the best wide receivers.
And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. And we'll have to check the flag, but I think this one's going to stand. On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
Watch it now, Barney!
First carry from Devontae Booker. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The offensive lineup now, and the guy we highlight, Emmanuel Sanders.
You can use him in any spot as a wide receiver. In the slot, out wide. It doesn't matter. He just makes plays.
A 2nd down carry for Booker. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. And let's get a look at the Green Bay defense.
Mike Daniels continues to get better and better with each year. A nice run stopper inside. 3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. And this up only to about the 33. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. NFL teams last year a little under 50% on fourth down conversions. This is a bit tougher. 4th and 4. They're going to try and throw, and it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. Packers trot back onto the field. See what their offense has here. Well, I'll tell you what they have coming up, though, the next 3 weeks, all on the road at the Titans, at the Redskins, and then they visit Philly as well.
A really difficult stretch, and that's the counterbalance to earlier in the season when they had 4 straight games at Lambeau. They went 3-1 during that time, so that was pretty darn good. Now they're on a 2-game losing skid headed into that 3 games on the road run.
Now Rodgers. And he rifles one incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
10 yards still left on 2nd down. Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. The left side throw complete to Adams. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be 3rd down. Offense coming up, needing 2 yards on 3rd down. Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he finds Cook. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. Yep. He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
319! Go.
Time running out here on the play clock. They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Couple of Broncos there in on the tackle. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again.
Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right.
58!
Rodgers to throw. 2nd down. That's caught at the 3. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot.
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Jordy Nelson, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Packers add on to their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right?
He's got a man complete. A huge play there for Denver. 41 yards. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up the defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run.
Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Morgan Burnett. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. The play fake to start. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Have to do a better job protecting here on third down after that sack.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Under pressure, they got him again. Von Miller, he's the one to get him this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Jake Shum to punt it away. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Jake Shum on to punt it away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Pulled in at the 24. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
Well, he just threw an interception last drive, nearly another pick.
And things aren't very even right now, are they? It's a little bit sloppy out there, isn't it? It's kind of the difference between driving on those paved roads and those country roads that have those potholes in them, isn't it? Because that's the way this game's going right now. A lot of bouncy bounce to it.
You spent some time on some and it's caught inside the 10. A big play there on third down for the Broncos. 53 yards. Shift together here from the D-line. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Now Simeon. That's caught at the 1. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they could do so many things.
And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Devontae Booker taking it in. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score.
Yeah, you heard it, right? Exhale. The exhale, and I'm taking that from their bench because finally, right before the half, they find a way to get the ball in the end zone and get some points on the board. Maybe they can use that to kickstart them for the second half.
Yeah, just to get something before going into the lockers. And now in the second half, they can just tighten.
The It's what they want to do, tighten down everything they're doing, and it maybe explode at the right time.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee.
Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Hey, 50.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And he's going to be out of bounds up around the 45-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
So 2nd and 10 here.
Box it. Hey, 88. Hurry up. 319. Right.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle to Cobb. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Rodgers now on 1st down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And he's brought down after a good gain. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And the former Colorado Buffalo, Crosby, puts this one through. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Buying time to his left. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
But Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean. They can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
Sliding out of the pocket. Now he'll let it go. And got his man. Complete. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down. this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator is looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work
And Noah's
on that one.
on third down, Booker. And now a fumble. The ball's out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. Looking to throw. Well, Charles, I know last night at the hotel we were going over injuries around the league and then looking at the quote-unquote next man up and who has really stepped in to fill some big shoes this year. Who'd you have down?
Well, Cleveland, it hasn't paid off for them yet, but 6 different guys have thrown passes for them so far. They've got to settle on a starter that they really like. How about in Dallas? I think that's the ultimate one right there. Dak Prescott stepping in for Tony Romo. Kansas City's had a carousel of running backs with the injury to Jamal Charles.
And one more in Denver. DeMarcus Ware returned in Week 9, but when he was out, who stepped up?
Shane Ray, their first-round draft pick in 2015.
They run again with Starks. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
When we did DeMarcus Ware's games in Dallas, didn't we spend most of the time talking about him rushing the passer?
We did, and how about now?
Oh, boy, he's expanded his game in a big way. Really does a great job in the run game now, using his length, using his leverage to hold the point of attack and make plays as we just saw there.
319! Easy. Okay, over here. No.
Rodgers to throw on third. That's complete to Cobb. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Rodgers now to throw. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Back now at the home of the champs, Sports Authority Field in Denver. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the fourth quarter. Second down, sacked by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on third? We'll see. On third and long, it's Rodgers. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. That one goes for 24 yards.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down at the 28. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
319! 319!
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll bring up a second down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Hey, take 26!
Starks. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. James Starks, a 22-yard scamper. And the Packers add 6 to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they'll just simply...